Hi, everybody. This is Paul Bryan of UX STRAT. Today I'm talking with Rucha Humnabadkar, who's a design leader for QuickBooks, about a recent project that she led at Intuit. Hi, Rucha.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Sure, I am going to turn it over to you for your presentation.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Hope you're having a great Tuesday afternoon as I share my screen share up. Thank you, Paul, for having me and this opportunity. So, hi, everybody. I am Rucha Humnabadkar. I'm at Intuit. I've been working on the QuickBooks product for the last 2 years. Just a quick background. I am a designer, but also a mom and a wine enthusiast. By night, I'm a filmmaker. You can watch my film on Netflix. It's about Indian immigrants in the US for Hero to Go. And when I lived in India, I wrote a book about street kids in India called Dance of the Fireflies. So what I thought I'd share with you today was one project I recently concluded at QuickBooks. The reason I picked this project was it truly shows the power of design when it's data backed. And what I wanted to share with you was how did we put this whole project together and successfully launch it. So to start with, what is a project-based business? These are companies whose main clients are external. Think a landscaper or an architect. What we saw and what the data told us was this was the #2 requested feature for all QBO customers was to create projects so that they could run their business successfully. When we did more customer research, and at Intuit we call it Follow Me Homes, these are done to really develop deep customer empathy among all the cross-functional partners on your team. So product managers, engineers, designers, sometimes even data analysts, and customer support will accompany the design team, and everybody will go to the business venue and do observational interviews and take notes and really ask questions to understand the true problem. What we came away with was the statement that made us realize what the gap was. The customer problem was, I don't know if I'm making enough money now that I have a large team and or more projects. So with that, we dug deeper and looked at the data. What we saw was we had a lot of customer requests on User Voice, our internal tool. We had sufficient care calls coming in every year, and also a lot of articles being searched on our help support. So given that this feature could impact over 50 to 55% of our QBO base, there was enough of a case to move forward. And the next step was, how did we do this? How do we put this together? I just wanted to talk a little bit about the challenges this project had. This was not just restricted to one product area. If you can imagine, QuickBooks is an ecosystem of products. We have accounting, we have payroll, we have capital, we have payments. The dependencies that this project would have was from the accounting team, which we were, the QBO core team, to the payroll and the T-sheets team, which is the timesheets where you actually enter manually the hours spent by the employee. So we had 3 product areas that had to come together to deliver this. We also had a remote engineering team in Edmonton. And the other one, which most design leaders and design teams are familiar with, is how do you draw alignment and really unify a product vision across multiple product areas. So with that context, I just wanted to share with you quickly some of the artifacts we created. We had a customer experience map to truly align everybody around the end-to-end flow. We also created ideal state sample screens. This was something as a feature that did not exist. So we had to create a vision of what could this look like? What would the experience be? Now, some of you might be thinking, wow, how long does that take? You can time box this activity for 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes maybe 4 weeks, but we came together as a design product engineering team to really understand what was that end-to-end flow we wanted to build. So this helped us give us that 1-year plan of what functionalities we wanted. And then we followed this up with rapid prototyping with the engineering team in Edmonton. The design and product team, the PM teams visited Edmonton. We recruited customers on site and did several revisions to arrive at our final designs. And voila, we had successful adoption at launch. It was a really great journey for us. We had a lot of cross-functional stakeholders, but at the end, we made it work by driving through design with all the key tools that help drive alignment. And then the next step to this was really understanding what was the customer feedback and how did they react to this new feature launch. So just sharing with you some of those quotes, the one that resonated with me the most was, the one by Katie. She said, I'm just thrilled with what your team has done. I'm ready for more. The ready for more really resonated with me because as a design team, you're always wanting to build and launch so many different features. So just hearing that was great for us to kind of make the case to move forward. Well, that was the story I had to share today. Thank you so much, Paul, for having me on the show. And I will stop sharing now.
Thanks, Rucha. I appreciate it. Well, I do have a question or two for you.
Mhm.
One, I was wondering how you constructed the experience map. What were the inputs to that?
Yeah, the experience map, given that this feature didn't exist, we really had to understand the customer problems. So a lot of the deep customer empathy work we did, the several interviews we conducted really was one of the core data points for helping us put that story together. We also then looked at the mental model of the customers to understand what are the key features and functionality they care about, and also how do they actually look for something like this? It's a new software. What are they thinking? So imagine someone Google searching, are they saying looking for project software? Are they saying create a project? So we really wanted to dig deep and understand that all the way to the end. And we shared this even with our executives of what this experience could look like.
Well, that makes sense. It sounds like you had a lot of stakeholders. So I'm
Mhm.
wondering, how did you prioritize? What kind of exercises did you run, or was everybody involved? To say what's in and what's out.
Yeah, great. That's always at the heart of these complex projects. I think the prioritization exercise was something that it happened in two ways. One was as we started building the project, we always go with the customer being at the center of the problem. When you keep the customer at front and center, you know what you need to solve. So really delivering on a benefit that would feel like even this was an MVP would create value for the customer was important. That helped us make the first cut. And once we had that product feature set, those requirements clearly articulated after doing several workshop sessions with cross-functional teams involved, we worked with our engineering team saying, okay, here's the MVP, here's what would really deliver value. What pieces are feasible and what phases do we need to make this happen? So that's how we went about planning for the launch.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for sharing that with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Paul. Bye.
Bye.